Welcome guys to another episode of Man United Daily, or transfer talk if you like. And in this video I'm going to be talking about quite a few transfer stories that has been happening over the past few weeks. Obviously they're not definite or anything like that, because it's again just rumours. And firstly I just want to talk about that we have confirmed the signing of Reus. I haven't seen a lot of him, to be fair, but again, that's another signing for the future, I'm guessing. So, only 20 years old. I think plays as a right back. I haven't seen a lot, like I said. Plays for in Uruguay, so it's obviously not going to get much coverage. So I'll be interested to see how he does in the coming season, or if he goes on loan, etc. So that's the first thing to get out of the way. But now let's go into the main focus of the video, and that is to talk about the transfer rumours. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is Thiago. Obviously, it's a kind of like developing story that I talked about in the last video as well, where I talked about Fellaini and Thiago potentially coming in, and Grim Balagay, a very respected Spanish journalist, confirmed that he has the £15 million release clause because of his due to his limited playing time at Barcelona this season. And obviously at the under-21 championship, he has shown his qualities on again, captaining the side, with a lot of quality players. Isco, David De Gea is in there, Rodrigo from Benfica, all in there. And Thiago, I think, is probably the pick of the bunch from the Spanish team right now, and as he was, a couple of years ago when the side had Javi Martinez, etc. So Thiago, very, very skilled player. I think a quality that is very kind of like underrated a bit in central midfield is the ability to beat your man, and he has that ability in abundance, really, because he has the trickery as well as the change of pace to get away from his nearest marker. So in that regard, he's very good. His technical ability is very good. People might say, oh, he's not physically strong enough and he's not the type that we're looking for, but again, I think he is in the mould of Paul Scholes. That kind of like flair central midfielder, and arriving, and he has a taste for goals as well from central midfield, and it's an area that we haven't had a lot of goals in or from in the last couple of years due to Scholes slowing down. Carrick, more of a kind of like playmaker, sitting deep sort of thing. So in that regard, Thiago would add a lot of quality, and I think with the release clause is definitely tempting. There's some interest from City as well, but Graham Balagay again has confirmed that Thiago, if United do go in for him, then we have a very good chance of persuading him to go away from Barcelona. I wonder whether they want to insert a buyback clause. I think United probably wouldn't, because of the money that we're paying. It wasn't like the PK situation, where he was 17, we had a buyback clause from Barcelona inserted. But I think with Thiago, top class midfielder, 20 years old, obviously is a player that is for the future, very much for the future, but also for the now because of his extraordinary qualities, cross-field passes, like I said, trickery, flair. So Thiago does seem a very good signing. There's some people criticising perhaps his consistency, but then I would argue because he hasn't get a lot of regular playing time, he doesn't get the ability to grow up and mature as a player and develop the consistency in his game, perhaps that people might have expected from him a couple of years ago. But again, 22 years old, £15 million is a really tempting carrot dangling ahead of United. Now, if David Moyes wants to go for it, I think we would have a great chance, and the connection with De Gea is definitely not to be underrated in this situation as well. So if I was going to give this transfer, I would give it a 7 out of 10. But again, the situation could change if City offer more money, etc. That could all change. But right now, 7 out of 10 for this Thiago transfer. So what do you guys make of that story? Please leave your comment below. And the next player is also playing at the under-21 tournament. He's 23 years old, Kevin Strootman from PSV Eindhoven. But before I talk about anything else, I'll let you watch this video.
Kevin, you heard there was a United scout here looking at you today. Huh?
You're interested in joining Manchester United? You heard there was a scout here today, no?
Filming it, huh?
You don't want to tell me? You want to join United?
We can have a beat. We can have a beat.
You can win the tournament, right? You can win it, no? You can win it there.
So it's obviously an interesting video where a English kind of like supporter or reporter is trying to get an answer on Kevin Strootman. Obviously he didn't take the bait and give us any saucy kind of like exclusives out there. But Kevin Strootman, obviously he I think he's well aware of the interest from United, from the smile that he gave to the camera. Quality player. I had not seen a lot of him, to be fair, before the Under-21 Championship. That's why I was kind of like a bit reserved in making a video, because if I haven't seen this player live, then there's not much point of doing it, because I wouldn't be giving him a fair justice. But after a few games I've watched him in, obviously a very, very good talented player, good commander as well, captain in the Under-21 side, reserve captain, I think, for the Dutch national team as well. So to be getting that kind of recognition of your leading qualities at the age of 23 is very impressive on the international stage. I think he's also going to be the next PSV captain from next season. So again, another kind of like feather in his cap for his outstanding leadership. But again, from what I've seen, very good player, box-to-box midfielder, has a very cultured left foot, has the eye for the pass. He has got a lot of things going for him. One thing I would say is that perhaps he has a lack of pace, I guess, in getting back. But his work rate in getting back is definitely something that you have to admire. He bombs up the box and then goes back down the other side, where basically him and Van Ginkel have a very good partnership in the middle of that Dutch midfield. But Van Ginkel, I think, is more of a kind of like attacking player in comparison to Strootman, who kind of like does more of the defensive qualities. But again, Strootman, from what I've seen, very good player, cultured left foot, like I said. The price I think is around £15 million as well, like Thiago. So that would be, I would think for both deals is pretty good value for money because of their age and potential as well. And with Strootman, I think we do get him in early now, and then we develop him in the next 1 or 2 years, I think he could become a very good captain on the pitch. Doesn't have to be that he's wearing an armband, but again, leadership qualities always have to be highlighted within a team during harsh or struggle when the team is struggling. But again, Strootman, 23, like I said, £15 million. Speaks very good English, which shouldn't come as a surprise because he's from the Netherlands, and they all speak very good English, so that would be a advantage to him in settling down at a club. So for this transfer, I would rate it at 7 out of 10, like Thiago. I know you guys probably saying, oh, you're a bit just a bit opting out there, saying the same score, but I think it's a transfer that is likely to happen, more likely just ever so slightly than Thiago, I think, because of the willingness in which PSV is willing to sell, recognising that Strootman is probably outgrowing in the Dutch league. But again, I would still place this at 7 out of 10 because of Strootman's perhaps, he has quite a long contract still to run. So Strootman, 7 out of 10. What do you guys make of this transfer? Leave your comment below. So the third story I'm going to be talking about is to do with Marco Reus, the Borussia Dortmund kind of like number 10/winger. Obviously this story hasn't got a lot of coverage, but Marco Reus is an interesting play because the deal with Mario Götze and stuff, he had a buyout clause, and Dortmund, they're trying now to kind of like eliminate any buyout clause being inserted to any new signings. But last summer they got Reus from Mönchengladbach, and they had a kind of like additional clause where in the first year there isn't a buyout clause, but from beginning of next season there will be one. and I'm not sure what the fee is, but I'm guessing it's probably the same price as Goetze, about 35 million pounds. So for a player, I think, of this quality, Marco Reus has impressed me hugely in the Champions League, and for Germany international team is obviously is a very talented player, operate on the wing or on the as a central role, and operates it very well, very quick, takes players on, and is a set piece specialist as well. So Marco Reus does have a lot of things going for him. Whether I think this transfer might happen, I think I have my doubts. So obviously Marco Reus, I think he'll be the fulcrum for Dortmund, and they probably want to keep him in the adversity they're having with Bayern Munich right now. Even though I think it's an interesting kind of like development in this story, and I think you should keep an eye out for this. Do I think this still going to happen to him, to United? I don't. Probably rate not. Probably not. So I would give this deal probably about a 3 or 4 out of 10. Is obviously very unlikely to happen, but again, that buyout clause is going to be something that a lot of teams are going to be sniffing at because of the quality that Reus has, and hugely impressive performer on the biggest stage. So keep an eye out for this development in this story. But again, 3 probably out of 10 for this deal, so it's unlikely to happen. But again, leave a comment below about Marco Reus. So the next story I'm going to be talking about is a player that everyone knows about now. It's becoming about a bit like the Wesley Sneijder saga a couple of years ago, and it's Robert Lewandowski. And this week, the CEO of Borussia Dortmund, he has come out to deny Lewandowski of any potential move to Bayern Munich this summer. Obviously, he can't say for the foreseeable future because it's Lewandowski's only got 1 year left on his contract, and next year he's able to go to any club for free, obviously. So, but the huge development in this is now that Bayern Munich Borussia Dortmund, I should say, have now sent a huge incentive to United, saying that they will accept £25.5 million from a foreign club, and it obviously put probably United at the priority of that list because of their interest that they shown last summer before opting out for Robin van Persie. But again, Lewandowski, a hugely talented. I'm sure I don't have to speak about his qualities that you guys witnessed in the Champions League. Very impressive player, and I think with Van Persie, he's going to be turning 30 before the beginning of the season. I know he's probably got at least 2 years left in him, Van Persie, because of the physical development and the scientific nature of football now is going to prolong a lot of players' careers, and Van Persie is still in fantastic shape. He never relied on his pace anyway, but I think it's a good option to have Robert Lewandowski as a kind of like a playing and get him on a cheap now in comparison to what he might be in the future. You never know. And Robert Lewandowski, 24 years old, fit into the age criteria that we try to aim to buy, so that they have a couple of years before they're reaching their peak. And so, again, like Thiago, the release clause or the supposed gentleman's agreement of £25 million is a huge incentive hanging in front of United. And if David Moyes want to bid that, then Dortmund would definitely take the money because, like I said, he's only got a year left on his contract, and Dortmund, I think, would rather sell him this summer to a foreign club for around £25 million than to see him go for absolutely nothing to their nearest rival. That would be, like a dagger through a heart, really. But Lewandowski is going to be a hugely exciting watch. I think a lot of the German journalists still maintain that Lewandowski, this saga still has a lot to run, whether Bayern Munich's going to come with a similar figure of 30 million euros, whatever. That could that could tempt Dortmund to say, what the heck, and then just accept the deal anyway. But I think this is the opportunity now. If we ever going to want Lewandowski in our side, David Moyes might want to act it on now before it's too late, and by the time next year comes, he's probably, if he still is at Dortmund, then he probably will go to Bayern. He come out saying that he wants to move this summer, so again, huge incentive for the Reds to go for him, and I think if we do, then we do possess probably the best front line of out-and-out striker in Europe if we do acquire the services of Robert Lewandowski. So for this story, I again would hesitate to give it an 8 because I think that is tipping a point to almost a certainty. But again, I would give it definitely a 7 out of 10 because of the development in this kind of off the record release clause that Borussia Dortmund have imposed on Lewandowski to foreign clubs. So £25 million, I think that would be very tempting, and I would probably sign him tomorrow if I could have that sort of an effect on the club. But it's obviously a long way to go in the summer. But £25 million, I give this story 7 out of 10. Leave your comment below once again on Robert Lewandowski, guys. So the last story we'll be talking about is to do with another ex-Arsenal skipper, and it's to do with Cesc Fabregas. We're making a bit of habit of doing this. Obviously, he's had a slight detour to Barcelona, and again, like similar to Thiago, he's facing an uncertain future at Barcelona due to the arrival of Neymar, and the kind of like rise to prominence of people like Theo, making his kind of starting position in the starting team a bit more kind of limited. So Cesc Fabregas, again, I think Graham Balaguer has confirmed that he probably won't go this summer, but it's an interesting development because of his restricted playing time. We all know the quality he possesses, and we all appreciated that when he was in the Premier League with Arsenal, the eye for the pass. He can dictate from midfield. He can get the goals from midfield. So he's almost a complete midfielder, if you like, in the modern game. Arrives late in the box, and all sort of technical ability, being in Spanish and being ingrained in that mentality of the Spanish national team. And obviously the Barcelona tiki-taka is the style that they play, so obviously hugely influential in that sort of like style of play. But I think if we do get Cesc Fabregas, then he will be a major addition and will be definitely a marquee signing. And I think it'll be more fun than anything just to see the reaction that Piers Morgan probably give to United and Fabregas on Twitter, really, because he dubbed Van Persie Van Purse strings and Rooney Shrek and stuff like that. So it's obviously going to be a bit of good banter if we do get Cesc Fabregas just for that alone. But again, I think it's hugely kind of like in the balance, this one. I would give this 5 out of 10 just because it's so delicately poised as to what way this goes. Because if Fabregas doesn't get reassurances from Barcelona, obviously Arsenal has first refusal on him if Barcelona do decide to sell. But if United bid before Barcelona sell the player, then obviously that clause doesn't get triggered. So it could be an interesting watch, but like I said again, I think it's 5 out of 10 at this moment in time because Fabregas, I think he does want to stay at Barcelona and see out his career there. But again, with the arrival of Neymar and the other players coming through the La Masia academy system, it's obviously going to provide a lot of intense competitiveness and competition to Fabregas. So it could be an interesting development. I think he'll probably around £25 million, similar fee to Lewandowski. I think he's around 25, 26 now, Fabregas. So just before he's gone into his peak. So obviously something very exciting development of his career right now. So again, 5 out of 10, a bit uncertain right now, but could accelerate one or the other once he does come out and seek the assurances that Barcelona have been giving him so far. So leave your comment on Cesc Fabregas below. So there you guys have it for another episode of United Transfer Talk. It's been a really long one, I have to say. Sorry about that. Or if you guys like it, please leave a comment below if you want me to do these sort of like longer ones. I finished my exams today. That's why I've kind of brought out this video quite late in the day. But again, I really wanted to give you guys the latest update here on the Man United Daily channel. You can watch Strootman and Thiago going against each other tomorrow in the Under-21 Championship in Israel. I think that match around 5 o'clock kickoff. I'm not sure about that, but again, you have to check that out. But it will be an intriguing battle, I think, between the players, and obviously we all can see the scouting reports that we all going to do for the club sort of thing. So that'll be interesting. So if you guys like this video, please rate, comment and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I'll probably will do a lot more regular shows now that I've finished my exams and have a lot more spare time at home. So guys, if you want to follow me on Twitter, please follow me at ManUnitedDaily or go to the website ManUnitedDaily.com. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.